What's up, family? Welcome to Positive Power XXI, J. Royce Films. I'm Jerry Royce Live, and you're watching The Red Room with Shay Samuels, right here on Music Vision Television. That's right, MVTV-21.com. It's going to be awesome, y'all. So please share this file. It's going to be awesome. You know what's going to be? It's going to be lit.
Hello, I'm Dr. Eric Holmes, the author of The Power of the Sea and Soulful Prayers. That is #1 best-selling. And I am in The Red Room with Shay.
Welcome to another episode of The Red Room. I am your host, Shay Samuels, and I am here with my girl, Miss Kelly Holland. How are you?
I'm well, Shay. Thanks so much for this opportunity.
Thank you for being with us. We have such an awesome topic tonight that we're going to be talking about, and it's exciting for me because we're going to be talking, we always talk about the matters of the heart, but we're talking about when something is being taken away from you. It's easy for us to just give things. Like if somebody gives you a gift and it's like, oh, thank you. But think about when they take that gift back. You ever, somebody's ever bought you something and they're like, I need that back.
Yes. Like, why?
or it's like kind of like we do it too. We give it to somebody and be like, here, you can have this car. And then as soon as our car breaks down, we're like, we got to break it back
Exactly.
in. But we are going to be talking about that today. And I'm excited to have this opportunity to speak with you about it because we want to get your opinion on it. We want to get your opinion on it. And we're going to kind of switch this thing up because although it's about what we give to people and what maybe they take back and trying to get revenge of certain things that happen in our lives, trying to kind of speak around it a little bit frank, or without being so frank. But there's a parts of that, it comes from somewhere. The matters of our heart, the matter of our heart. What are we thinking? Why do we think this way? Why do we think that it's okay to even get revenge on people who take things back from us? You know, it's so easy for us to think negatively. It's so easy for us to think harshly. I mean, when things are being taken away from you, you're never really thinking like, I love that person for doing that. Why isn't that the first thought that we think about? So what do you think about that?
Well, what I first do is like to tell myself, they killed Jesus. It's harsh to say, but who am I compared to Jesus? And that kind of brings me back and it humbles me and it tells me, listen, we're going to try our best to have our best composure. At the end of the day, I'm a life coach, and so I have to always think about the consequences of my actions.
Yes, you said it. Yeah.
Thank you. And I go back to Romans 12, because within Romans 12, we're told to love our enemy, to feed our enemy. They're hungry, give them food. If they're thirsty, give them water. And this is our enemy, the Lord is telling us to do so. But he also adds on this little piece of the back that kind of makes me feel so good in my heart.
Yeah.
He says, in doing so, you'll reap hot coals on their head. And so I'm like, get him, Jesus. It's my superhero, Jesus.
Yes.
Go get him. I fed him.
Yes. And it is amazing because sometimes we can utilize the scripture. We should be doing that all the time, though. There's so many different scriptures in the Bible that talks about certain things. Think about, I'm always talking about Joseph, but think about Joseph, how he was wrong. He was stripped from his robe. I mean, think about that. By your own family. Let's talk about family.
Okay, we could take that over to Job if we're
ahead.
talking about family.
Go ahead.
Okay, and did he ever curse God?
Come on.
And through his faith, everything worked out. And that's pretty much how I do it.
Yeah.
If something that I have that I feel is precious and now it's gone, I lost it, it's taken away from me, I soothe myself by saying, it wasn't meant to be.
Yeah.
Whoever had it, I hope they do well with it.
Yeah.
And I move on.
Yeah.
Whether I find it now or later, the stress is gone.
Yeah.
The pain is gone, and I'm able to think clearly.
Yeah. How many times do we go throughout the course of the day, like, okay, there are jobs that people probably wanted and they noticed that a friend of theirs who applied for it too got the job.
Oh, the jealousy, the envy. It wasn't for you.
And that's the key point. If we can really identify with the fact that God has something so much better for us. There's something on the other side of that taken away, that no. God has something so much better.
That was a hard lesson for me to learn. And it all comes in with faith, trust and faith. I just finished my first year of discipleship at my church. Oh, what an experience that was. And to take a look into myself and to see all the bad, all my sin, and identify, and then say, what can I work on? What can I fix? Well, let's start with our spirit of envy. Let's start with our spirit of jealousy. Why are these people moving ahead in life and I'm still here? Congratulations. You know, I try to do it genuinely, you know, and still go back to the drawing board and say, God, what am I doing wrong? What can I do better? How can I give more? What can I do to improve my situation? And because improving my situation for me, I'm helping others. I work in service. How can I practice what I preach and still believe something meaningful for these people after something has been taken from me? How do I stand in front of you with a smile on my face, confidence in my heart, and I have nothing? My little bit is gone, or like Job, I'm sitting there, my whole family's been wiped out, my whole empire is gone, and your wife tells you to curse God, and you're like, woman, be quiet.
If you notice, it's always the things that we actually hold dear to us are the things that are taken away. It's the objects that we hold dear to us. It's the thing that we're like, we can't live without this thing.
And that's why God teaches us to not love those objects. And sometimes he has to strip it away so we can love him greater. I learned to not be upset about what was removed from my life. I've learned to be grateful for what was removed from my life. And I try not to go back. Sometimes I do.
Well, I have a confession. Chocolate is
okay.
When I found out I was allergic to chocolate, it took every bit of me, but sometimes I have a setback and I look at that bar sometimes, I walk past it and I just go back and go get it, and then, you know, but I'll start I can get me a little Reese's cup.
I'm so allergic. And I still eat them.
And that's bad, but it's those things. I have an aunt who's allergic to crab, but what can she?
If she lives in Maryland, that is hard to deal with. You should just move.
But there are things that God knows that we adore and we love, but I think because he wants us to love him so much, he wants us to believe in his type of love and his type of giving. And there's nothing on this earth that says we can't take this stuff away with us when we die.
Absolutely not.
You know how many people literally have a house full of stuff, cars, and they leave it to their kids, and what happens?
They throw it away, they give it away, they fight over it. Goodwill comes and gets it, something happens.
Right. And you've worked hard for all of this. You've put yourself in a position where you always think, I'm going to have this for the rest of my life. You go outside, shine in that car. You know how many people clean their sneakers off. You know how many women, oh my God, bundles.
Hair. Ooh, hair. And then the maintenance of the hair. What about the hair you're not using? How do you maintain that hair? Exactly. Is it on hangers?
Exactly. We can take that away. But it's a blessing. And so you're saying we have to check against the heart. What you're saying is I check against my heart first.
Absolutely.
There's a singer who actually talked about that. The singer said that they had everything taken away. He was in ministry, going to the altar, praying for people every day. And they laying in tubs and nobody knew. Nobody even asked how they were doing. But the matter of his heart was, I know the God that I serve.
And when you know the God that you serve, many times you are pushed to limits that even yourself can't bear.
Come on.
And then that's when you have no choice but to submit yourself. And once you submit yourself wholeheartedly, fully, you have nothing. You are in this valley. You're going to get your victory from the adversity. Life will turn in your favor just because you was obedient enough to your Father.
I learned a long time ago that, and I say I learned, but it was something that God gave me. The blessing is in the letting go. The blessing is in the letting go. There are so many things that I wasn't prepared to let go, and I didn't even know. But you think about Abraham and his son. The blessing is in the letting go. Every time we think that we have to give it up or we don't want to give it up, there's so many opportunities that we have to say, here it is. Here you go, and give up willingly. How about the neighbors who don't have clothes or they don't have food, but we're walking in every single day in our houses and we're just like, we did it, we made it, and they're not. There's so many things there.
There's so many people that we could help. There's so many other jobs that could be provided. There's some type of dignity opportunities that can be given. But at the end of the day, if I fed one person, then I felt good about myself. And so I'll do the best I can to make sure I can feed my audience, whether it be with food, whether it be with knowledge, whether it be with help. I want to help you.
I love that.
It makes me smile to make other people happy. I delight in it.
And what about when you do that, though? Because we're talking about the heart, but what about when you do that and you don't even get a thank you?
Oh, I just know my gas isn't going to go empty while I'm driving home. My cable's going to work just fine when I'm going to have a comfortable life because I gave to others willingly.
Yeah.
I didn't do it because I expected something in return. I did it because that's the way I felt at that time. It made me feel good to see someone in need. I have the opportunity to help their need.
Yeah.
And if I was able to get it done in less time, because we are on a schedule all day long, we all get the 24 hours, okay? If I get it done in minimal time, then I've been able to help them and help myself. So I can get back to what I need to do.
Yeah, I really love your spirit about it, though, because you are teaching people. There are some things about how people see you or see me, and they think, well, you know, how do I say this? They say, but I'm not going to say that they say this, but people who see someone always happy, she can't always be happy.
Oh, they hate it. What are you smiling about? They haven't had their coffee or nothing. I'm like, I'm just joyful.
Yeah.
I smile all day long. All day long.
But because of it not being it's not the status quo in this world today. So when people see it, you could not have had anything taken away from you. So guess what? They end up treating you, that's where their revenge comes in, because they end up treating you differently because you now are the person they're like, she ain't never been through nothing. But wait until they hear your story.
Oh my God. Sometimes I can just wish I can walk around with a little cliff note or something, just to give people a little tidbit, like, don't mess with her, she got all this under her belt. You know, she done been through all of this.
Yeah. Well, I want to thank you again for the opportunity to talk to you about this. We're going to go to a break.
Thank you so
and when
much.
we come back, we're going to talk about another topic, but this was a really good topic, so you stay right there. We'll be back after this break.
All right.
No one knows the day, nor the hour, when the Son of Man
Welcome back to the Red Room. I am your host, Shay Samuels, and I'm here with my girl, Kelly. We're having such an amazing time. We just had an amazing topic, and we have another one for you. Back in the old days. Don't think about those days anymore. Those days are no good for you. Well, maybe sometimes you can think about some good things, and it can remind you of where you are, but what we're doing is staying there. So we're going to talk about that today, not staying there, remembering the good old days, or maybe not so good. So let's talk about that.
Well, one day, I won't say one day, I'll say back in the day, right? I didn't like myself.
Yeah.
I didn't like where I was in life. I didn't have confidence in being an entrepreneur, a wife, or a mother.
Yeah.
And it took some searching for me to declare that I'm more than what my title is. I'm more than my education.
Yeah.
I'm more than this paycheck I collect. And I'm more than a wife to you, sir. Okay?
Yeah.
I'm fearfully and wonderfully made.
Yeah.
And so I tapped back into my unspeakable joy is what I'm wearing today. But that's also the name of my book, Hit Over the Head with Unspeakable Joy. I had to find my joy. I had to be able to climb out of that valley. I had to say my yesterdays strengthened me for today.
Amen. I like that you pulled that. My yesterday strengthened me for today. Some of us don't even get that. Some of us stay directly in the pit. We get to a point where we just don't want to budge. We're so stubborn with moving forward. And I think sometimes it's a comfortable place. It's like a blanket almost. Like you put that blanket over you and you're just like, I'm comfortable right here. You don't want to get out of bed in the morning.
You better climb out of that metaphoric muddy mountain. Only way you going is up, baby. You can't me. I'm already at the bottom. So, okay, you're going to cry about it? Maybe a little bit. But I'm going to get back up. I'm going to keep working. And that's what I encourage others to do. Your yesterdays made you. It was awful. You have an awful story. It is heartbreaking. And it is unique from my own. Absolutely. But who are you today because of that?
Thank you.
Okay?
Thank you.
What can you stomach today that you couldn't? I remember about a year ago, I could not pay my Amex credit card bill. And I cried. I cried. I come from a background of finance. So you imagine yourself working in finance 15 plus years and you've always paid your bills early, on time, whatever. And now I'm sitting here like, I don't have it.
Yeah.
And I cried. Let me see your bill today. I'll get to you, baby. No love lost. I will get to you, okay? And so things that would break me, just as simple as a bill, have no effect on me now. Or my husband, that broke me. Okay, so I thought, you know, but God picked me up and he turned me around. And to this day, I can say, hey, husband, hey, ex-husband, how are you? What are we doing? We can speak cordially now. Before, he was hitting my block button. I couldn't talk to him. He couldn't talk to me. But see, the Lord matured me from my yesterdays.
I mean, I think about it too, because you said something that was really profound. It's like when you get put in a position, it's almost like that position, even in boot camp. When you think about boot camp, nobody really likes ever going to boot camp. I mean, why would you volunteer to go somewhere that you know for a fact they are going to tell you to crawl in the mud, do 50 push-ups, do 50 more push-ups. They call you out of your name. You sign up for that. Yet we can't handle that in the real world.
We sign up for discipline. We ask God for strength. You better say it. Now, how are we going to be strengthened? We just going to wake up one morning and have the gift of strength?
And that's what people think.
No, the experience must come.
I got the most, it was genius. And it was like on Bruce Almighty.
I love Bruce Almighty and Evan Almighty.
It was Evan Almighty. And he's sitting there just as calm. He goes, do you think if you pray for love, God's going to give you love? Or is he going to give you a reason to love?
There it is.
You think if you pray for courage, that God is going to give you courage? Or is he going to give you a reason to be courageous? And when he said that, I was like, that, I sat up in my seat.
The light went out, huh?
The light bulb the light bulb, the wrong light went out, but the right light came on. And I think that's what we need to get to. We need to be able to understand that our past, it actually helps to represent who we are today. But what you said was stand up to that. Yes, you had a bad past.
I had to stand up to it, and I couldn't do it all at once. And I couldn't do it on the time that they wanted me to. But I got to it.
Yeah.
Okay, and when I got to it, I was such a stronger person. My mind was healthy, okay? Because when we go through things, we ain't always together up here. So, okay?
We're not in our right mind.
Delirious in all sorts, right? Because it's a devastating change. And as you deal with the hurt and the pain of whatever your hardship is, to To regroup takes
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
To encourage takes time. And to do it all for yourself is even harder.
Yeah.
And so what I like to do is mentor others. I like to life coach others. And I like to give them that encouragement that they need. But just know that just because you had this experience before, realize what it prepared you for later.
Yeah.
Had I not had these financial problems before, how could I
Yes.
handle money here,
Yeah.
money there, good
Yeah.
money here, no money here?
Yeah.
You know, how could I handle the breaks and the things, or stepping away from a job?
Yeah.
How could I manage that?
On the flip side of it, you have people who had a lot of money and they cannot take, I mean, people are killing themselves over the fact that they don't have money. So you were able to look at it. At least you cried.
I cried.
But there are people who are killing themselves because they are losing jobs, or because they are losing money, or because the economy is so bad. And you wonder why, you know, you're like, what happened to that person? And they're like, money went bad, you know, or their wife left them, or the husband left them. And they are not willing. Life is so precious and they're willing to give it up over a loss.
You got to come out of that cave, I call it.
Yeah.
And I like to check on my girlfriends from time to time. Sweetheart, are you in your cave? I'll give you some space, but let's get together.
Yes.
Okay? I don't care if I'm just over your house helping you clean the kitchen. Let's get together.
Yes.
Let me encourage you.
Yeah.
And it takes a lot out of you when you're doing that for so many people.
on, yeah.
And sometimes it's so much harder to do it for yourself when you do it for other people.
Yeah.
Sometimes I remember a time when I was stuck in my bed, couldn't get out, and I didn't want to be seen by my kids. I just wanted to hide from everyone in life. And then the inspiration came. The love came. The repeated show of I am here with you came. And it encouraged me to just try. Well, let me just try this real quick and see if it worked. And it worked.
Yeah.
Well, let me just try again. And it keeps working.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
success fills me.
Yeah.
Now I'm encouraged.
Yeah.
And now I can help others.
Yeah.
We tap back into that unspeakable joy.
I just can't, you know, one of the things again is just about the like you said, the joy. Some people don't even know how to bounce into that joy. Some people don't know how to get to that level of joy. Like somebody's watching right now and they're like, honey, I hear you, I see you, and I tried that. I talked in another episode about going to the gym. Sometimes it's hard to pick yourself up and get to that gym, but you know that it, you know, what we do is we hear the doctor say, guess what? You only have 30 days to live if you don't get into that gym. Guess what you're going to do?
Going right to that gym.
You know what? If you don't stop eating food like this, the diabetes that you have, they're going to get worse, and you're going to have something cut off, whether it's your arm, like, what you going to do?
Wake up blind. Or cut back.
You are going to cut back, and that's what we have to do.
We have to. It's all about discipline. When you, after you got all that out your system, you know, or even if you're slowing it down in your system, having faith in yourself is stronger than you ever thought it would be. And when you try, just try.
Just try.
Why don't you try? I said, what are they going to tell you? No.
Because living in the past is so good, though.
No,
I mean,
it's
when you
not.
think about it, so many people, like, let's just be transparent.
Okay.
We're two women in here in the red room wearing our red. Listen, it's so good to live in an environment where you have been, I feel good here. I used to have this. I used to drive this car. Man, when I was in college, we partied. We did everything that we did that was
The
good
good
for
old
us.
days.
That's the good old days. And you know what? And I don't, there are people who don't even have friends because the friends that they had way back when are the friends that's not even helping them grow.
Well, they won't. They won't. When you start to walk in your new purpose, other people will be attracted to your new purpose. And because you have similar interests, you can encourage one
The
another.
people who are assigned to your purpose are going to be attracted to your new
How
purpose.
about it? And they don't want none of your greatness. They just want to shine with you, or they want you to do better just because you have a product that is amazing for others and you need to share it, market it, get it out, whatever the case may be. I love having a diverse group of friends that encourage me, that empower me, friends that I could play with, friends that could get me back on track, friends that I could cry with, and friends that I can say, you know what, our love is going to work this out.
And you need friends, like you just said. Call your friends every now and then and say to your friends, hey, what's going on? I know you're in that place, but you cannot stay there. You said, let me come over and help you do dishes.
How about
that
it?
was amazing.
Who's gonna be mad about
that?
a
Was
clean
amazing.
kitchen?
No, you're not. You can't come over here and clean my dishes. You can't come over
Girl,
and
you
clean
need to
my
ask
dishes.
me. I'm on my way, girl.
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, you know, you think about it. You need those type of people in your life to keep you from the back, keep you from thinking backwards, keeping you from. And I like again how you said it. The purpose that people have are now attached to your purpose. But then you have those friends on the other end that are telling you that that person is no good for you, and that's our shame. show.
Wow.
I'm telling you, think about it. There are people that are telling you that that person's no good for you because they don't understand the person's purpose. So let me say thank you again for just being here with us in the Red Room. This is another great episode. Thank you so much for being with me.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Kelly, for being with me. And that is it. We are going to be back. We love you guys. Thank you so much for joining us again for another episode of the Red Room.
You